All right, let's talk about something that comes up all the time in DIY solar and power systems. How do you safely run your 12-volt gear when you have a 24-volt battery setup? It seems simple, but if you do this the wrong way, you could absolutely destroy your equipment, or worse, you could start a fire. So let's break down how to do this the right way. So here's the deal. You've got this great 24-volt system, maybe for your van, your boat, or an off-grid cabin. But that fridge, those lights, that water pump you need, they're all 12-volt. It's a classic problem, right? And if you think the solution is just as easy as plugging a couple of things together, well, you're not alone, but that's exactly where the danger starts. Now, the go-to answer you'll see everywhere online is to just grab a step-down converter. You'll also hear it called a DC to DC buck converter. It's a pretty simple little box. You feed 24 volts into one side, and you get a nice, steady 12 volts out the other. And honestly, for most people, that's where the thinking stops. But that is a huge, huge mistake. Yeah, because, you see, voltage is only half the story. The real danger, the part that most tutorials just completely gloss over, is hidden in how power and current work together. If you get this part wrong, you're not just risking a piece of fried equipment, you are literally risking a fire. It all boils down to a fundamental law of physics, the conservation of power. You can't just create power out of thin air, and you can't destroy it. You can only convert it from one form to another. So whatever power your 12-volt device needs to run has to come from the 24-volt side of your system. But this conversion, it isn't perfect, and it comes with a trade-off that is absolutely key to understanding the risk here. And here it is. This is the big aha moment. To get the same amount of power out at a lower voltage, the current has to go up. It has to. Think about it. If you cut the voltage in half, from 24 down to 12, you have to literally double the current to deliver the exact same amount of power. This right here, this is the critical piece of the puzzle that almost everyone misses. So what does this actually mean for your setup? It means that your handy step-down converter is secretly a current-increasing device on the 12-volt side. And that higher current, plus the heat the converter naturally generates just by doing its job, is a dangerous combination. You have to remember, heat is the #1 enemy of every single electrical system, and it's our job to manage it. Okay, so we get the problem, right? We know why this is so dangerous. Now, let's get into the how. This is the pro's blueprint for an installation that doesn't just work, it's built to be safe and to last. Here are the 4 steps you absolutely cannot skip. First, you need 2 fuses, not 1. That's right, 2. You need a fuse on the 24-volt input as close to the battery as possible to protect against a catastrophic short. But, and this is key, you also need a second fuse on the 12-volt output to protect that new high-current wiring. Third, and this is so critical, you have to use thicker wire on the 12-volt side. And finally, give that converter some breathing room. It gets hot and it needs airflow to cool down and survive. Just let this quote sink in for a second. Using wire that's too thin for that high-current 12-volt output is like trying to drink a thick milkshake through a tiny little coffee stirrer. It's just not going to work. All that electrical friction creates a ton of heat. The wire gets dangerously hot, the plastic insulation starts to melt, and before you know it, you have the perfect recipe for an electrical fire. All right, let's talk about the big mistakes. These are the real-world traps, the landmines that turn a setup that looks perfectly fine on paper into a project that's just waiting to fail. Mistake #1 is completely forgetting about surge loads, or what's called inrush current. That water pump, or that fridge compressor, it doesn't just draw its normal running current all the time. For a split second, right when it kicks on, it can pull 5, 6, even 10 times that amount of power. If your converter isn't big enough to handle that momentary surge, it's either going to shut itself off or just burn out completely. The second huge mistake is buying a converter that's just barely big enough to do the job. You can't run these things at their absolute maximum capacity all day, every day. You wouldn't drive your car with the pedal to the floor constantly, right? Same idea here. It causes the converter to constantly overheat, and that will drastically shorten its lifespan. Always, always build in a safety margin. Size your converter to be about 20 or 25% more powerful than what you think you need. And finally, mistake #3, bad grounding. I know, grounding sounds boring, but trust me, it is absolutely critical. Your 24-volt system and your new 12-volt system have to share the same solid negative ground connection. If they don't, you get what's called a floating ground, and that leads to all sorts of weird, unpredictable problems, flickering lights, buzzing in your speakers, and even fried circuit boards. So after all that, let's boil it all down to a simple mantra you can take with you for any project. It really all comes down to this: respect the current,
respect the heat, and always, always, design for safety. It is never just about the voltage. You have to account for that higher current on the output, you have to manage the heat that it's going to create, and you have to build your system to be safe, not just to be functional. So the next time you're working on a project like this, just ask yourself, have you respected all three?